Well, good morning. It's around 11 o'clock on Monday, and I'm trying to get my bearings straight. Don't seem like they're getting too straight, but I'm making sure I've got my microphone on. I do. So what I'm doing is, here's my pie crust that I made for my chocolate pie. If I ever get around to making it, maybe today. Yeah, I probably will. So what I'm going to do is debone this chicken, and then we'll go from there. Hope y'all are doing okay today. Stay out of that freezing roads, because it's not gotten any better since this morning when I talked to y'all. You know, one of these chickens has a lot of meat on it. If you're just sitting, take it off there. It's not a big deal. Just let it get cold. See, this is cold out of the icebox, and then that skin and stuff just comes off. And I just sit here and debone and debone. The sun did come out. Still colder than Dickens out there. Mother's still asleep. I let her sleep. Sometimes she don't sleep good. You know, I don't sleep at all, hardly. But then I had to get something for lunch fixed, and I still don't know exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be chicken and noodles. What it's going to be. I thought about potato soup. We love potato soup. Old-timey potato soup. And I thought, well, don't know if I want that. So let me just do the chicken first and get it deboned. Now I wear these night shirts all the time around the house. I've always not liked being cumbered up. So I wear, even when I'm cooking, I'll put my apron over, especially, well, only in the winter. I don't wear them in the summertime, wool or cotton night tops. Sometimes I'll have on pajamas, but if I go to town, I do not wear pajamas to Walmart like some people do. Saw a post the other day that said, oh, it's winter, now we need to wear 2 pairs of pajamas to Walmart. Oh, Lord help. Where has the dignity gone from people? Men don't shave anymore. They look nasty. Women's goes unkept. I'm glad I don't have to date anybody nowadays, because I couldn't find nobody to live up to me. They just look dirty. Wearing all these old saggy clothes, and I've got beautiful clothes that I had. And of course I don't go anywhere to wear them. Unless we go to the doctor, and then I don't dress up a lot. I hear one of the cats at the door. So because it's still cold out there. I'll be back. Now I'll start on this. It's got the breast. That's where you get a lot of good white meat off of that. See, that just comes off in big old hunks. Yeah, I had a doctor friend one time tell me that he had a patient that kept getting sick from infections or bacterial, and he had a beard, and for some reason that beard he would wash it and stuff, but they catch all. They're dirty. and he kept getting staph infection out of his own beard. And that just, I guess that ruined me on wearing facial hair like that. Because they couldn't figure out, they thought that man was going to die, and it was always, he was allergic to himself, more or less. Now I could have boiled this on down. And got more of that meat off. But it's not that imperative. Let me get my hands washed. Just a minute. I'll get hot water on there, get that old chicken grease off. So that made quite a bit of chicken, didn't it? That one hen. That was a young hen, it said. I don't know how they knew her age, or his age, her age. Mother, she'll say if something's tough, she'll say, boy, that old rooster sure is tough. I said, no, that's not rooster, that's a hen. We get to tickle. My stepbrother and I, we took her to a Mexican restaurant one time, and she said, I bet they use rooster in this. It's tough as all get out. We just got so tickled we couldn't even eat our food. She killed that one chicken that time, and it flopped around scared me to death. So I went outside to check on the cat. And I'm so blind now, I can't see nothing. That white on my eyes, that's what they call snow blindness, I guess. I've never had it that I know of, but I've got it right now. I've been walking, trying to get into the house, in this dark house. I thought it was dark. It's not dark, but it is to me now. So I've got my chicken all deboned. We got it deboned. And I don't really want to make a huge pan of nothing, because Mother and I will not eat it, and I just don't want to have to take it and try to disperse it out. There's no way I can, because I'm not getting in the car. I brought these sacks in the other day. I wanted to see. I bought chicken noodle soup. This is for our shut-in. I bought 2 cans of pinto beans, low sodium. I bought golden sweet whole caramel corn, 2 cans. A can of white chicken and water. Don't know why. I guess I thought if the electricity went out. Let's see, there's the other bag. I haven't put this in the cabinet because I forgot about it. Black-eyed peas, sliced carrots, sweet peas, sliced carrots, and whole white hominy. Now that's what I thought we could live on if electricity went out. Well, I guess we could have. What is that? A little piece of glass. So these go up in the cabinet so that I don't. Lord, I must have been drinking the day I went to the store or something. I didn't even drink, but I bought 2 cans of green peas. Then I've got this can of sweet green peas and carrots. So we might use our carrots today in our chicken stuff. So we don't need no canned chicken. We've got fresh chicken. So y'all just hang on till I get through going through this. Whole caramel corn, and then I bought 2 chicken noodle soups just in case. That Mother and I needed something to eat. I've got so many canned goods now. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about myself, but then I think, well, you take care of business. And I try to, y'all. I really try to. like I was going to say a while ago, I hope y'all aren't out on those terrible roads. And I imagine a lot of you up north, up towards New York and stuff, are still getting sleet and snow, and maybe in Kentucky and Granny Pat and Grandma Lois up in Indiana. And I'm shouting out all my friends, Debbie and all that, you know. I'm trying to decide. I don't want to make a big pot or pan. I don't want to make a big pan. I think this stew pan will be big enough. There's no sense in making so much that we'll never eat it, you know. That's the way I feel about it. So I'm going to turn that on, and let me get those, let me get a little Crisco, because that's all I've got to use right now, y'all, till I can get to the store. Is this Crisco that I'd accidentally, I don't know if somebody gave it to me or I had it. I do not know. But I'm going to put a little bit of that Crisco in that Corot pan. You know, my ancestors, they believed that Crisco was the savior of all things. And maybe it was. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of those, I'm going to dice some. I'm going to dice mine. This video may be sporadic, it may be long, it may be short. I don't know. I'm going to get the rest of those Simply potatoes that I made those great potato galettes, and y'all didn't even get to see it because the camera cut off. So much for that, you know. So much for that. So today, let's see. Well, those are moist, and that's fine. Now, if you're going to make a potato cake or something like that, you have to wring these out in the towel, because if you don't, I buy them for $1.99, you know. Simply potatoes, there's usually about, $5, something like that. Let me get these rinsed here. I've got so much stuff, y'all. I don't need a whole bunch of onion. So, I'm going to go ahead and use that onion that I had put in that bowl of ice, because it's still good. And there's no sense in wasting it. So, we're going to chop it a little bit. Just a little chop on here. This will be kind of a potato chicken soup. I don't want to do a whole vegetable soup. I'm going to add a little bit of that green pepper to it. I don't want a whole bunch of green pepper, because I don't want it over flavoring my what I'm doing here. So we're just going to put that in the pan. Well, that grease and all of that Crisco, it'll burn the heck out of it if you don't wash down. We don't want that, so we're going to just wipe this. Get those sauteed down a little bit. That's what I wanted to do. Might as well open my carrots. And then I'll drain those carrots and get them kind of. Let me get my little chopper. Get my little baby. I'm gonna order a different kind of chopper. This one wears my arm out. It's okay, but I'm just gonna. I want to use. Oh gosh, that might fit all in there. Let's see. We're gonna try it, aren't we? I hate when things get stuck in the can. That's why I don't like using canned stuff, because there, got it out. Now let's put this in here and put the lid down if it'll go. Oh, please. See, I go back and forth. That's okay, but with my arthritis it's not very good. I had a young person help me. One of the chefs, I'd say fine. This is probably good for like little baby food, stuff like that. I just didn't want them all. There's a few more. That's okay. I just want to chop those up, get them ready for when I put my stock in there. Prep them. Okay. Now we've got the carrots prepped, and we've got that going. So we'll put some of our chicken. I don't want big pieces of chicken, so I'm going to. Since it's not a big pan, we will take these little pieces and kind of chuck them up in there. I want to get that kind of that chicken chopped up in there. And it's soft enough when I cook that. But that is fine there. I'm going to add little carrots to this. Then I'll add my broth. That'd make a good meal right there, y'all. Well, let's just I got this big thing of broth. Remember I told you that would make great chicken broth the other night? And it will. So I'm going to skim my grease off of this, because you don't want all that grease in there. So skim that off. Then you can use this other for chicken broth. You know what grease you're getting off that you wouldn't have if you hadn't put it in the refrigerator. You want to get a lot of that off there. We don't need all that. See all that grease that was in that? Get it off. Get that off. Okay. Now, let me get a little cup, one of my little cups, and I'm just going to turn that back up a hair because I want to cook my noodles. I've got my carrots in there, see, and my chicken. Let's cook down. Now while I'm doing it, I guess while I've got this, I'll go ahead and put my garlic, just powder. I'm not going to use fresh garlic in this. I'm going to use a little rosemary leaves. Since I've got my own that I got from the yard, but I'm not going to mess with it today. I'm going to put some salt in it. I'm going to put some pepper. Just a little pepper, because I don't remember how much was in that. How much I had in that chicken stock. So see, that's your base for this chicken and noodles. Now we will take our, let me get my deal over here. I'm just going to add this chicken broth, about 3 to that. Let me see here. Okay, so let's go 4, about 5. Now to that, since that's so condensed down, I'm going to get me let me get some hot water out of my dispenser over here. So that's about a cup, probably a cup of hot water. And I'm going to thin that down, because that chicken stock is kind of concentrated. But this, we'll get this up to high. And you can always tell if you need to add a little more chicken or a little more of this or a little more of that. And that's looking pretty good for a small quantity, because we don't need a big quantity of that soup. So I'm going to get that up high, and then I'm going to clean that stove a minute. Okay, I'm going to add my Simply potatoes to this. I'm going to add my Simply potatoes to that. And just let that cook good. Get them softened up. You want your taters to get soft. And while I'm doing that, I'll be back, but I'm gonna clean this stove and get this cleaned up a little bit in here, and I'll be back. Okay, I got that up to a boil now, and I'm gonna get a cup of milk. Get me through that. I'm gonna get Dolly. I'm gonna put about 3 spoonfuls of flour. I'll just use the finely pounded all-purpose flour. I'm gonna make my cornbread today. I'll use that with. So let me get this stirred in. Put Dolly up, and I'm going to make sure that that's stirred into that milk good. Little Jean's been in here messing, hasn't he? Make sure you get that no lumps and stuff. So I'll show you my trick of doing that, and y'all have seen me do it a million times. But this, when you mix it in milk, well, you can have lumps, but usually less imperative than it is. Because the proteins bind, so you're usually pretty good. I've got that up going. Maybe too much thickener for that little pan. Now this is what I'd usually use for a pot. So I'm not going to put all this in there. I think that's pretty well, but you know, I get my little cheat to make sure. I cheat a little bit so that I know that there's no lumps in my stuff. I'll put it in there was. There would have been. They would have been. I might as well just use it because if it's too thick, you can always water it down. And you can always lay your build out in there and they'll get some of that out of that. So now, let me stir that around. See how that's thickening up? That thickens up so quick. And you see that carrot and potato soup has thickened up. That's the way you get that soup thick. Makes it stick to your ribs, y'all. And see how that thick that has gotten? Now if it got too thick, you could add some water to it. I think we'll probably need a little more pepper. It doesn't look like it has enough pepper. So let's pepper it up a little bit. That's our chicken, potato, and carrot soup. Okay, I got the kitchen kind of cleaned up here. I get one of my Pyrex bowls. And I've got to taste this soup. Needs more salt. I'll do that here in a little bit though. It's got a good flavor. Just needs a little more salt. So now I'm going to make my cornbread, fried cornbread is what I want today. Because I like it with when I'm having like a potato soup. So let me get me a cup and a half cornmeal out of here. Let me see. Let's see, that's a cup. That's about a cup and a half. Maybe just a hair more. A cup and a half of that cornmeal. Then I've got to get a half a cup of self-rising flour, which I don't have. I just got plain, but I'll add to it. Okay, so to my half a cup of flour, I'm going to add my 3/4 teaspoon just to keep it straight so y'all know what I'm doing. I'm going to add 3/1/4 because I can't find my 3/4. So 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now that will, and you put a pinch of salt in that. And that makes your half a cup of self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising flour, then you can go on with your recipe as you do. So put the half a cup of self-rising flour in there. And to that, we'll add, since for the whole recipe you need to add a teaspoon and a half of baking powder. Because the way the old recipes, a lot of them are written, is using self-rising. So there's a teaspoon and a half. And to me, what I do is I add, anytime something has buttermilk, I always add baking soda because it gives a lift. So I'm adding a teaspoon of baking soda. And give me some salt and give me some salt. Where are we? Just a little salt. And then we'll add, where's my sugar? I'm going to add my pure cane sugar. I just want just a little bitty bit, probably about 2 teaspoons. About 2 teaspoons, just to give that a little sugary. Because when you're eating potato soup, I just love it that way. Now on this, I've got to have some vegetable oil, so I'm going to dip out me some Crisco. And I'm going to nuke it in the microwave. I'm going to nuke this in the microwave. So I'll have about a half a cup, which would be about that. We're going to try it and see. I take that Crisco and I rub it on top of my hands. For years I rubbed stuff. That's why my hands don't seem real wrinkled. I think it's because I've always rubbed grease or something on my hands. Well then, let me push this over just a little bit. Get that, go ahead and let that melt. That'll melt on down in there without burning something up. Okay, I might as well go ahead and get me a pan. So I'm gonna get one of the biggest Korote pans because I want to fry my cornbread, and I don't want to have to wait all day to do it. So once again, here we go with our, you know what, Crisco. Loretta, Miss Loretta, she was something else. Okay, I've got to have enough to, yes, my hands are clean, y'all. I wash them, y'all should know, I wash them every 5 minutes over here in this sink. When you hear the water running, I'm usually washing my hands. I just took Mother a cup of coffee. Because it's still cold here. It's dripping off a little bit. But you realize when that drips off the house and stuff, when dusk comes, it's gonna refreeze. So you got black ice or whatever it's called. We're just gonna rub that around our pan. Get that Crisco. I have to say, Crisco does fry stuff well. You know. Okay, now I've got to put my half a cup of vegetable oil on there. And then I'll put 1 egg. Put 1 egg in there. Just like that. And let me get a trash sack. Because I took that other one to the trash. Let me kind of mix my egg real quick with this fork. Just kind of mix that in. Like that. Kind of mixed up there. I should have mixed the dry ingredients like that, but it'll be alright. I'll make sure there's no... You have to mix that baking powder in. Not you'll have areas that'll be bitter as quinine. Now let me get a cup of buttermilk. Let's get a cup of buttermilk. Let's see. And that'll react to that. So let's mix the buttermilk in there. Okay. Let's get this mixed in here. Turn that down a little bit because it's starting to smell. This will be a little thicker than, you know, our everyday cornbread. Don't ever use that cake flour in your cornbread because I didn't like that cornbread the other night. It was the worst cornbread I've made in my life. But that's all I could find, or all I had. I'm not one of the best cooks, but I try. At least I try. I know there's a lot of ladies, and probably some men out there that's a lot better than me. I don't know why you're watching me. I went to cooking school, but I didn't finish. I had other things to do. I had other art and stuff on my mind. I didn't have time for cooking. I never thought I'd have... I always wanted a talk show, but I never thought I'd have a cooking thing. That seems a little dry, but let me see. I may have to add just a hair of water. Sometimes you do. I got hot water here. Just a little bitty bit to kind of moisten that. I don't know why that. Get it over here. I know I measured it right. But it's not wet enough that I liked. I want it to where I can put it in that pan and then it'll spread out. I don't want it so much it'll spread out all over the pan. That's a little better, see. Got a little better consistency there. Let that kind of soak that, rinse that off the side of that. Just a little bit, rinse that off the side of that pan. That'll get them pieces of cornmeal a little moisture. Now then, maybe, let me see. I might have to add more Crisco than that because that pan dips in the middle. You see? When that dips in the middle, my spoon will come off. When that dips in the middle, see how that dips? I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I just don't know. That pan. Well, I'll just turn it down. I've never used this pan to fry cornbread in, so this kind of pan. And I've got my ladle here, these long neck ladles, which I don't like at all. And I should have looked and see if I had, which I thought I had, some of the old ladles, or not ladles, the old flippers. I don't know what I've done with them. We'll just do it this way. We'll just do it this way. Comes out okay, but don't okay. Probably about it smells like a frying catfish. My grandma, she'd make little baby ones for us. Little bitty baby ones. For us, we thought we was in high cotton when she'd make, little bitty baby pancakes or little bitty baby. I don't want that to brown that too much, so I'm going to turn this down. Kind of get my grease up on the side of those. Yeah, she would make us baby things, little baby pancakes and little baby this and that. See that, this long handle, I can't hardly use it. It's hard to use, but I'm doing the best I can. That is going to be a little difficult. Get that one there. Let's kind of squash them down now and then they can fry. They'll fry up. Turn that back up now that you've got it kind of, got it done there. Those will fluff out. That buttermilk fluffs out. You just want to let them cook till they're still sliding sideways, so you know they're not even. I always kind of just turn my pan. Get them cooked a little better. Okay. See how that's soaked most of that grease up. Flip them. I'm going to flip them one more time. Just to make sure they're okay. I don't like these pans because they seem like they try to burn my stuff. But those are done. Those cornbreads are done. So let me get a little plate. Get a little plate. Now, I'll go underneath and just flip those over there. Get them cornbreads out there. Not the prettiest damn things you ever seen, but I bet they'll be good. If I can get them all on this plate, Lord, that's enough for an army. I'm not sure Mother will able to eat all that. There's a fried cornbread. I'm going to keep these little dregs out here so I can put this in the sink. Because it's hot as a you know what. I'm going to let it cool off there on the side of the sink so I don't have to. I'm going to tell you a while ago, I was trying to get my pie off the oven. I was trying to get what I meant is I was trying to get this bottle of cinnamon out of the shelf, moved over, it fell in my pie crust and broke it all to pieces. So now I don't know, I guess I'll make some make do, wear it out, use it up, and do it out. I guess I'll make chocolate filling and just add the crust to it with some whipped cream maybe. I don't know what I'm going to do. I told y'all this kitchen's too small. And that's why I can't film in here. Just above. I can't do anything else because it's too little. See how these crock pans, I'm just not happy with them because they stain. Inside stains and the bottom stains. That may be why they're so cheap in price. I like the way the handles do and all that, but after I've used them, that brown stains and stuff, I'm just not happy with that. Okay, let me get a plate. And let me get a plate. And I'll get one of these cornbread. What is that one? Let me see. This small one might be good for Mother because I want to cut it in little pieces so she can eat it better. So there's the cornbread. You see so we'll just, these little dregs I put over here in my bowl because I like putting my soup on cornbread. It's just the way I do things. Now we're going to get some of our challenge butter. And I'll get a little case knife. Give me a little case knife. And I will set her and butter her breads like I always do. Y'all know I do. Just butter her cornbread so she'll have it right there by her. I imagine that's all she'll eat is those. And taste it. Good and crunchy. It's good. It's good. So now, I'm going to get these dregs off here. Put them in my little bowl of stuff here so I can, I'm going to get her a smaller bowl that'll fit on that plate. I know I've got one. Get one of the sunshine bowls. That'll be a little easier. Be a little easier to get this. So now we've got cornbread, potato carrot chicken soup, and it's good. It's really good. That'll keep us. We could have had anything we wanted. I'd cook anything we wanted. If y'all were here, I'd cook whatever I could. We'd be fed and happy and all that stuff. But God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. Y'all stay off those treacherous roads. Stay out in your house. If you get in trouble, call the police. That's what they're here for, to serve you. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. And I do wish y'all was here for some soup and fried cornbread. There's nothing any better. Bye-bye.